with this hour. A close eye on coastal landscapes, the Minister for Petroleum and Energy visits mining and quarry sites along the coastal line to examine the environmental impacts of extracting industries. Diabuguba Tapa embraces a new green future as the Upper River community joins ecological advocates for a massive tree planting exercise rejuvenating the area's biodiversity. And registration drudgery, the sluggish pace in processing a national health insurance card, puts inner city residents on edge as families across the metropolis struggle to get registered. And in sports, Madinam Falli Football Club trash Wasustone Circle FC to clinch the regional third division championship. And away from home, civilians rush to flee Ukraine's southern port city as its forces move to retake Kherson. Elsewhere around the world, the deadly Mogadishu hotel siege ends with 21 people dead and over 100 injured after a fierce attack by Al-Shabaab fighters that lasted 30 hours. Well, details of these and other stories coming ahead in this edition of the news. I am Fatoumata Cham. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back, and it's great to have you here with us. We begin with the Minister of Petroleum and Energy, who joined his team of experts on Saturday for a site visit to mining and quarry sites along the coastal belt within the Greater Banjul area to assess the environmental impact of extractive industries. Usman Mani picks up the rest of that story.
Brufut was the first site visited by the Petroleum and Energy Minister and delegation. The exercise is informed following an assessment by the Environment Technical Working Group visit to mining sites in Brufut, Batokungu, Tujereng, and Sanyang. Gaj and Jinkon mining companies are the current operators in these sites where sand and natural minerals are being extracted. Discussing the rehabilitation process of the quarry in Brufut, officials of Gaj reported that $1.5 million is agreed towards the project, and 50% is already available for the Department of Parks and Wildlife Management for maintenance, since they are the affected custodian under the supervision of Geology Department and NEA. Here is where we have the much talked about black sand mineral that is being mined in this country by the former government through the Carnegie Mineral Company. Now it is occupied by a Gaj company. It is among the 3 sites that is being mined by the Gaj company in Brufut, Sanyang, and Tujereng. As you can see, there is where it is extracted from the white sand to be deposited here for exportation. One of the key issues that stood out, how much quantity is being mined from this site. This site has a history of discrepancy in revenue collection, especially on minerals extracted according to audited reports. Gaj, with accredited licensing to mine in Brufut, Batokungu, and Sanyang, is now ought to effect the rehabilitation and management plans for respective sites. One of the crucial revelations in the exercise is that operators are seen to be mining beyond their designated limits, thereby damaging the coastline.
In our opinion, they were going beyond the boundaries, and definitely the access to the sea is impossible. That is very disheartening to us. We said our children will not forgive us for that, because here, if you look at it, you cannot see the sea at all. So that was our concern, and we think that I think we should just stop. The environmental damage along this coastline is very worrying and disturbing. This is one of the sites that Jinkon Mining Company is extracting sand. Just barely 2 weeks when they were asked to stop mining in this site, they still continue. The mining in this coastline has caused serious environmental damage, encroaching into people's farmland. A worrying situation that the authorities are out to assess and make a stop to this exercise.
We saw what is happening in Batakunku with Kaj, different from the sand mining that is taking place in Batakunku. There we saw the massive damage that the sand mining for building construction has had in the environment. And also we went to Tujareng. Similar massive damage of concern to the government and the community was expressed, and we have issued prior to my visit a stop notice to the company to stop all operations until they comply with the environmental issues.
Minister Job reacts to some of the issues emerging and highlighted solutions going forward.
The issuance of mining permits or quarrying permits or quarrying license are currently being reviewed, with a view to making sure that you make responsible decisions. Because the TDA, which is under the Tourism Development Board and the Ministry of Tourism, they are concerned about these activities because there is a degradation.
Advisor to the Petroleum Minister, Mamadou Sarr, explained the procedure for acquiring mining licenses and management plans for operators. He expressed his disappointment towards unfolding events.
It's really bad, and I didn't expect it because for me it was a shock to see certain sites, the damage that is caused. And it's very expensive to fix it. I mean, we say rehabilitation. I'm a geologist, also and an environmentalist, and I know it's very expensive to fix damaged sites. In fact, sometimes you can't even fix it. You have to change it into something. Like what we propose in some mining sites is to plant more trees, and so you have more birds coming there to lay eggs.
The talk continues in coming days. Usman Mane, GRTS.
Now, moving on, prominent personalities and professionals in different domains have been handed distinguished awards by the Netherlands-based Voice African News magazine in recognition of their service to humanity and communities in the country. The awards ceremony held at the Sir Dawda Kairaba International Conference Center on Saturday was attended by top politicians, entrepreneurs and activists in the Gambia and around the world nominated for the awards. GRTS's Ibrahim Jallo picks up the rest of that story.
It was a spectacular awards night in gala reception for the awardees. It is an annual event organized by the Voice African News magazine, based in the Netherlands, and Banjul was the host this year. The founder and editor-in-chief of the magazine said the magazine was established with a view to amplify the voice of Africans and the African continent.
We have developed the magazine to become not just to publish news, but to help to bring good and clear attention to Africa and to let the world understand that Africa is not a dumping site and we are not lazy people. We are hard working people when we are giving equal opportunities like any other human being.
The awards, he said, is an initiative to honor Africans and friends of Africa for their contribution to humanity and the development of communities in their respective countries.
We do not only recognize Africa, but we recognize the friends of Africa. As you look in this hall, you will see some that look a little bit different from us, but they are Africans. They love Africa. We are adopting them as Africans, and because of that, we can also celebrate them. So this award has become for Africans and friends of Africa.
Prominent politicians, including the leader of the Gambia Democratic Congress, Mama Kandeh, and Halifa Sallah of the People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism, were among the list of awardees.
This is a form of motivation and motivating everyone. And I promise you that I will do my best to earn the respect of every Gambian.
We are here to celebrate not an individual achievement, but the byproduct of our social existence as a people. No human being on this earth had ever risen to greatness without being carried on the soldiers of the mass of the people.
Business executives, including Gambia's Abubakar Jawara of Gaj Global and Abdul Aziz Ahmad from Dubai, amongst others, were also awarded. Top Senegalese musician Titi set the stage to an audible ambience, ending the event in Banjul. Ibrahima Diallo, GRTS News.
And over now to some health matters, because COVID-19 is back in the news as officials launch a new campaign to end vaccine hesitancy and increase the national vaccination uptake. Public health officials at the expanded program for immunization have partnered with a Canadian health advocacy group to support the country's move to attain the 70% target for vaccine coverage. Babu Chan picks up the rest of that story.
The fight against COVID-19 continues, though many have taken the vaccine as a precautionary method against the virus. Many still remain skeptical on the efficacy of the vaccine. Galvanizing efforts at national level to meet the target number of vaccinated people, health officers who have themselves first taken the vaccine did not hesitate to sensitize people on its efficacy in preventing oneself against the disease.
These vaccines are very, very safe. You can see they are never left unmonitored even for a day, and they are monitored twice daily. So this is a device that tells you what had happened in the refrigerators where the vaccines are stored, and then you can see this is a temperature monitoring chart for June. So every month, every week, every day, every afternoon and every morning, these vaccines are monitored. So before these vaccines are given to anybody, we make sure the vaccines are very, very safe and also very, very efficient for anybody to take.
As custodians of medical and all related products, the storage and safekeeping of the vaccine is also vital to maintain its potency.
This is where they are stored, and this is not just an ordinary refrigerator. These are refrigerators specifically designed for the storage of vaccines, and they are also connected to solar so that we wouldn't have power issues. So they're constantly under the right temperature between +2 to +8, and under no circumstances that you take them out of that temperature unmonitored. Because they need to be in a cold environment that is between +2 to +8. These are ice packs. Yes. So this is what we take and then put it in the. But this is specifically for the Pfizer vaccine, and then you put the ice packs inside the cold box. COVID-19 vaccine. Put it here, plus a temperature monitoring chart, plus the fridge tag. This is what the device you use to monitor the temperature of the vaccine. Put it here and close it.
The government, in collaboration with stakeholders and regional authorities, is also committed in the reserve to strengthen up efforts as far as health service delivery is concerned to keep the country at bay from any pandemic diseases.
Over 200 people have been trained on the front line. These are the people who are doing surveillance and others looking for, they are the police officers for diseases. They go and look for disease and they go and report. And now they have gone to another level again. That's the intermediate course. And the intermediate is cohort 1. These are the first people who have started the intermediate here. And I think they may have one key message. We need support for FETP. WHO, they want FETP to continue. The Ministry of Health, they want the support and the enabling environment for the partners to come and support the FETP program.
For GRTS News, I am Babu Chan reporting.
Now, Helping Charity, an NGO operating in the North Bank and beyond, recently donated bags of rice to 350 students and families across the region. The food aid, according to officials, forms part of the NGO's resolve to provide conducive learning environments for children under their sponsorship program. The food aid is also aimed at supporting beneficiary families during the cropping season. Our correspondent in the North Bank region is Farmer Akanyi, and he picks up the rest of that story.
Leneen lu ñoo wax tamit mooy li tubaab yi dee wax early child marriage. Xale bu nga xam ne mu ngi tollu ci jànga.
Early marriage is harmful. It is a violation of human rights. Let's allow and support our children to complete their basic education. Words from Sajo Sar, National Coordinator of the Helping Charity, addressing families and students at the annual rice distribution exercise in FAS, organized and supported by his NGO.
Ci grade 8 la tollu. Amut fukki at ak juroom ñetta.
The Helping Charity has been operating across the North Bank region for almost 2 decades, intervening in critical areas such as education, healthcare, and promoting local development initiatives.
This thing has been here for the past 15 years, the rice.
Babukar Nyang is a board member of the NGO. In an interview, he disclosed the rationale behind the annual food aid.
This rice distribution as a component of our education is very important to us as a charity and us as the board. We ensure also that this is a continuity, and then this is why we also like to partner with other entities like the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education to do this exercise. The early marriage issue, which is an issue that we are observing, it's happening to our children who we are sponsoring, and then it's a great concern, so it's important for us also to discuss about this issue to these parents so that they know that there is already an existing law that prohibits it. Not only that, but also the challenges it possesses on these children when they get married early.
350 students and their parents were each giving bags of rice to help them pass some difficult times in this cropping season.
We are also open to partnership with any other entity, NGO, who are bigger than us and things that they could complement our efforts in working to ensure that children who we are supporting in education have their fulfill, because this is an individual sponsor.
Karamu Manjang is the sponsorship coordinator of the NGO. He described the rice as a relief package intended to improve the lives and living conditions of beneficiaries across the region.
The people of North Bank region, please make best use of the sponsor, as the children are the most beneficiary of this sponsorship. Also, you know, it is not easy to try to do the job without the cooperation of the parents. So we'll definitely urge the parents to help us so that this work can be done successfully without any problem going on.
Officials of the Helping Charity also used the platform to thank their partners, such as the Basic and Secondary Education Ministry and the Health Ministry, for their continued support and collaboration. For the news, I am Farmer Akanyi.
Now, Team Go Green recently conducted their 3rd annual tree planting exercise within the streets of Diabugu Batapa in Sandu district. The initiative is a leading effort to protect the environment from natural disasters and the effects of climate change. Our reporter in the Upper River region is Seydou Kamara, and he now reports.
Diabugu Batapa Team Go Green for Sustainable Development and the Village Development Committee setting the scene for a rich natural environment in the Upper River Region settlement with a massive tree planting exercise to augment the area's biodiversity. According to the coordinator of the association, Bahore Drame, the primary objective of the initiative is to plant trees to protect the environment from natural disasters such as windstorm, soil erosion, and other related disasters.
We Team Go Green, we don't only come and plant trees and go, we make sure they survive. And if you look at them, our survival rate is about 90% plus. That is amazing. We are very much pleased about that. And as you know, we plant with different. We plant trees with different. We make sure we protected it with tree guards, and then we take care of them during the dry season. We water them. That's why we have this huge survival rate. So definitely we are very pleased to the entire community.
Diaspora Executive Member Umar MCC commended Team Go Green for its unwavering commitment to climate adaptation. For the past 2 years, the organization planted over 300 trees in the outskirts of the community and registered 90% survival rate.
So we're doing planting trees in many places. So like last 3 years we do outside of the village. Now this time we do inside the village. So we would like to tell all our members, Diabu people, all Sandu, so they're trying to do the same thing in different areas. So the tree, I believe, they will help a lot because we out of tree in the area. So I believe when we have the trees, so that will get more better for everyone else.
Officials from the Department of Forestry expressed appreciation to Team Go Green and the community for its renewed focus on environmental protection.
Yiri Tutuo is one aspect of it, but
to plant a tree is one thing, and to protect and nurture it is another aspect. Looking at the amount of trees Department of Forestry plant in a year is in millions, but how does all these trees die? And it is not helping the environment. And sometimes all these are born by bushfire. We need to change our attitudes towards the protection of the forest.
Potential areas, ye do community forestry to.
A member of the Village Development Committee, Batapa Drame, held the organization for a fruitful eco partnership and pledged the community's commitment to continue working with them.
Team Go Green program.
This is the third year since the Team Go Green started this program, and we are very happy about the initiative because the first trees we planted, out of 100, 90 have survived, and last year also all the planted trees survived. That is why when they call us the VDC, we are more than ready to join them to do it in the village.
VDC sateo anan sateo funding goal ibele wakilta kapo nyinkum sinan satra ngaki sateo konoti pour dibango sisia sateo kono wala kendi wakilta nyinan koti kembaki kan sateo.
Team Go Green for Sustainable Development is a leading ecological advocacy group with members in the Upper River region and diaspora, supporting sustainability efforts through multiple initiatives such as tree planting and sensitization to protect the environment from the devastating effects of climate change. These plants were previously planted by the association in the outskirts of the village. A strong commitment to nature has beautifully sustained them as Batapa moves to embrace a new green future. Seydou Camara, reporting for GRTS News from Basse Upper River region.
You're watching GRTS News at 2000 hours. We'll take a short break now. The news continues in just a moment. Do stay.
For free! You can now send money via MoneyGram to AfriMoney in Gambia anytime, anywhere. Simply go on to MoneyGram.com or the app and select Pay through AfriMoney to send. Make sure the receiver is registered on AfriMoney in Gambia or get them to dial *777# to register. Instantly, the money comes into their AfriMoney wallet. No hassle, no wait times, complete ease. Cash out at any AfriMoney agent or AfriCell outlets. Free cash out, no sending fees.
Do you enjoy spending time online with your friends on social media? If so, then AfriCell has the best offer for you. Activate the social media bundle for $10 is only and enjoy 40 megabytes valid for 24 hours. WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Viber all for $10 is only. Dial 120# and press 3 to activate the social media bundle. No need to subscribe every day. It will automatically roll over for your enjoyment. AfriCell Social Media Bundle. Let us socialize.
COVID-19 is real. Here are some steps you can observe to keep you and your family safe. Get vaccinated against COVID-19. The vaccine is safe and effective and can protect you from getting sick. The vaccine is readily available in any health facility, free of charge. Currently, there are 3 different types of vaccines, namely Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and Sinopharm. The goal of the Gambia Ministry of Health is to vaccinate everybody, young and old people, including children aged 12 years and above. Hand washing with soap, when done correctly, is critical in the fight against COVID-19. It is one of the cheapest, most effective things you can do to protect yourself and others. Wash your hands frequently, including every time you enter the home or office. Avoid shaking hands with other people. After you cough or sneeze and before you eat, use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand rub. Clean frequently touched surfaces, frequently with chlorine or alcohol solution, for example, kitchen tables, work desk, etc. Remember, no one is safe until we are all safe. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and the Gambia Country Coordinating Mechanism with funding from the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB and malaria. For more information, please call our toll-free number 1025.
COVID-19 mu kusotorin nati simfanyalu felese mentano men sete tanka anila dimbayalu COVID-19 pengolu tabang akoita alanno warta anda si tanka kujama pala sako sasa COVID-19 pengo parero ngobe sotorin na jaral dinkiralu tole asifa sabanga wale soto Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer anin Sinopharm yenyunu mengo menta akado kusifa kilingole ke jato kono andu ye mengo menta jote dodo kunna kilinta nyunu kono bang apengo koita asibali COVID-19 jankarola asibali lopitani lala waramfang saya Gambia la jata kende ya bunda hamo minyeneti pour mobe ye pengu kabirin dinding fokeba kabo sanji tannim fula katawa e santola kebulo ku nin safuno la wati mu COVID-19 keleram baleti menda diata to malu peti sila sono yarimba isi menta ke fango ani do nyolu tanka alu karal buloku wati nalu futata suwa kono ani do ku dulalito kane bulo dum mo bulu ni totota itisota ani jenni be domoro kela safuno nin jiyota warang alcohol based hand rub alkar sai kala dulal fita waral ke ku wati sako dulal men boko ko balu kono anin tabulol anin chlorine la warang alcohol to nyala nyato ta soto de katalari ke nyin COVID-19 la bari wo nyawnya nyin kuran tententa kantora nyin sanji fulo kono wotali nga demba nga nyin kuran kele katu nim mo kilim mantanka woto mbele mantanka men yenyin kibaru natale wolle Ministry of Health and Gambia Country Coordinating Mechanism men na depansiro bota Global Fund bulu men yalon ko wolle ka AIDS kele TB anim malaria na lafta kuma ko yola hani kabi al 1025 kumandi.
You're watching us live from Banjul. I am Fatoumata Cham, and that was all we had time for in this edition of the news. But before we go, a quick look at our top stories. A close eye on coastal landscapes. The Minister of Petroleum and Energy visits mining and quarry sites along the coastal belt to examine environmental impacts of extractive industries. The Abugu Batapa is embracing a new green future as the Upper River community joins ecological advocates for a massive tree planting exercise to revive the area's biodiversity. And registration drudgery, the sluggish pace in processing a national health insurance card is putting inner city residents on edge as families across the metropolis struggle to get registered. In sports, Medinam Falli Football Club trashed Wasu Stone Circle FC 3-1 to clinch the regional 3rd division championship. And away from home, civilians are rushing to flee Ukraine's southern port city as its forces move to retake Kherson. Elsewhere around the world, the deadly Mogadishu hotel siege ended with 21 people dead and over 100 injured after a fierce attack by Al-Shabaab fighters that lasted 30 hours. Well, that was all in this edition of the news at 2000 hours. I'll be back at 2200 hours for more detailed broadcast of these and other stories. Do stay with us.
Enjoy spending time online with your friends on social media? If so, then Africell has the best offer for you. Activate the social